Hi Astro friends, it's Melanie on the 19th of August 2026 with the Astro weather going until the 25th of August. So we're now in the transition from Leo to Virgo, and this week literally is that transition week because the Sun will enter Virgo on the 22nd of August. When is it exactly? In the evening at 7:19 p.m. Pacific. This is what I call the Sphinx week, as the Sun will cross over the Sphinx point. The cusp from Leo to Virgo is considered in astrology the Sphinx point. What does that mean? Sphinx is an oracle. Sphinx is poses the question, who are you? It's all about self-awareness. The strong Leo self becomes aware of itself, becomes more mindful, shall I say. Leo is ruled by the Sun. Mercury rules Virgo, so this is the mind is now kicking in and is maybe self-analyzing, is also wondering, what can I do with my Leo strength? How can I put my Leo love into action to help others, not just to be self-serving? That would be a shadow of that. But all these questions around the interface of Leo to Virgo are coming in now. And on a deeper level, of course, it's about spiritual self-awareness. Who are you truly? So again, the Sphinx, the Oracle. And if you were born this week, it's your birthday week, or you have planets on that cusp, on that interface, these would be important themes in life. What's going on this week otherwise? Yes, we are actually now also in the nodal world, in the world of the north and south nodes, which are very instrumental for eclipses, because when the sun, the moon, as a new moon or full moon, are aligned with the south or north node, we are having an eclipse. And that is also eclipse season currently. And the eclipse season also is playing out on the Sphinx point and on the Aquarius Pisces cusp as the nodes are shifting. What do I mean with all of that? So I show you the positions in the zodiac with the partial lunar eclipse chart. Let me just briefly add something to it, which is important. Here we go. And I want to show you what's going on with the partial lunar eclipse and the nodes. So here is the eclipse chart for the 27th of August 2026. We're having the partial lunar eclipse full moon in Pisces Virgo. And as you can see, there is the Sun and Mercury conjunction in in early Virgo, which is very mercurial going on, with the South Node, end of Leo. So on that Sphinx point cusp, I should actually put it here, right life here, Sphinx point, to make the point. So this is the Sphinx point here, and this is where in early Virgo the Sun will be for the eclipse, while the South Node here, this curly horseshoe, the reverse horseshoe, will have just freshly entered Leo, right? But they're still close together, while the Moon is with the North Node, which will have correspondingly freshly entered Aquarius. Why? Because the nodes always go backwards. It comes from Pisces, in this case the North Node, and enters Aquarius, end of Aquarius from early Pisces, today, the 19th, while the south node also comes from early Virgo and enters end of Leo. So you have this nodal shift now going on, and the nodes will be 1.5 years in a sign, in this case back here, right, and back here, while also eclipse season is happening. So let me just say a few words about that. I won't confuse you. Hopefully this was a bit more illustrative. And so yes, the nodes have been in Virgo and Pisces for the last 1.5 years since end of January 2025. And we've had eclipses in that context as well. What does that mean? The end of the Virgo South node is all about being so much in worry mode, in concern mode, in problem mode, in issues, in like it's very mental, and it's very much about trying to plan, trying to do things, but they don't always work out, right? So with the best intentions and having all the ducks in a row, everything is there, but still there's something bigger. There is a bigger cosmic picture. There is the climate. There are influences that can defy this, right? And so we were challenged to actually be flexible. And that's the Pisces side, right? And also be open, let go, allowing things to unfold as they should, doing our part, but not getting wrapped up, and definitely not being part of the problem, being rather part of the solution in so many ways, and rather than adding more to the problem, right? So and now the nodes are shifting, and now the lower vibration of Leo is coming into the picture with the South Node in Leo, and the invitation from Aquarius is coming in. And we already have seen that with the Leo South Node, with the Leo total solar eclipse close to the South Node at that time in early Virgo. So that was the 12th of August. So that was sort of the initiatory eclipse, and this eclipse will also bring it out. But ironically now the Sun is in Virgo while the South Node is end of Leo. So they are basically flipping. So it's a little bit of a interesting game there. But okay, so the process has started with the South Node in Leo, the North Node in Aquarius. What does that mean? So the shadow of Leo, so to say, is really coming out now, being revealed. In other words, yeah, all these issues around narcissism, entitlement, the world should cater to me, and yeah, so a strong self to a fault, right? And also privilege, right? So qualities of privilege that are, yeah, not really good or not being used to actually serve humanity. That would be the ideal, right? So if you are special in some regard, either through your position, through your whatever family, through your education, through your physical strength, use that. It's similar also to Leo Virgo, right? But with Aquarius, it's about bring your strength to community and yeah, help society, help the world to have a better future. And also we have this whole dynamic of Aquarius Leo in another way, because systems, especially in the technological world, are being built now. Aquarius, this is the Aquarius age, Pluto's in Aquarius, and does it really serve the humanity? Does it also allow individuality to be preserved, right? That would be Leo, right? How can individuals retain their sovereignty? So it plays out with these eclipses and with these nodal axes in different ways. We'll see, but this is just the beginning. What else is going on this week? We have, as I said, the Sun will enter Virgo, and now we're in the end of Leo days, the last end of Leo days until the 22nd. and that has a Sagittarius undertone. So this is all about being on the path of the heart and following our truth without being like righteous and all this, which also could come up with that. But yeah, following the heart. And then the early Virgo energy from the 22nd, when the sun enters Virgo, until the 31st, that has a Capricorn undertone. So this is about working for the highest good. It's about, again, taking on maybe something challenging and important and serving that. And let's look at the transits this week also. Venus has entered Libra. Venus is now in Libra for quite a while because it will be 2 stages because Venus will go retrograde. So the first stage started on August 6th and goes until September 10th. And then she will come back to Libra as part of her retro phase until after retro from October 25th to December 4th. So a long phase for Venus in Libra this year, including the retro phase from October 3rd to November, Friday, November the 13th. And so the Venus in Libra energy now brings art, beauty, harmony, the notion for peace, for balance, for right relationship very strongly into the picture. And we also see differences between compatibility on all levels and incompatibility. And we need balance in our lives in so many ways. And culture often and art bring balance, right? And then Venus will oppose Saturn on August 21st. So that would be one of her challenges while in Libra. So when Venus opposes Saturn, there is this dichotomy, this polarity between art, beauty, harmony, relatedness, and Saturn says, okay, there are challenges here, or there are obstacles, there are issues that are in the way of that dance and that relationship. And that can have to do from the Aries side with, again, the individualism. That's also Aries. So how can we reconcile the need for relationship with the reality of individualism and autonomy, right? Aries is a lot about autonomy. It can also bring out very strongly this whole theme around war and peace and negotiation versus aggression and more the uh, Aries side that is just Saturn actually needs to limit that. The notion for war. War is not the solution, right? Can we find an understanding here? Then, as I said, the sun enters Virgo on the 22nd, so I'm going chronological now. On the 23rd, the sun in early Virgo will be in Earth Trine with Chiron freshly in, or still in early Taurus, going retrograde and being over the summer in Taurus, Chiron is, before it re-enters Aries on the 17th of September. And now the sun in Virgo is going into contact. So this is a lot about healing. It's a very friendly contact, and it's about finding the medicine, finding the healing agent within through the retrograde energy and of Chiron, but also through Virgo, which is very self-sufficient. So it might, you might be in a situation where you're wondering about even choices, right? With Libra, um, might wonder about a certain uh, procedures, certain choices in your medical realm and your healing world, and this would be actually a really strong incentive to find. So no medical advice, clearly, right? but to find alternatives, find natural ways of treating and of meeting certain conditions that are out of alignment. And yeah, so opportunities in that regard, right? So like looking into options. And then on the 25th of August, Mercury will also enter Virgo and form the same Earth Trine with Chiron. Mercury will be in Virgo until September 10th, and this is a short phase this time, 10, 16 days only or so. And so reason comes in, alignment, practice, also after the strong but also kind of problematic Mercury in Leo, which has been more dramatic energy, and also in regards of regarding the news and regarding all sorts of information. Lots of things got attention for better or worse. And now we are entering a more reasonable and a more measured way of dealing with things, and finding also solutions is always important to say what really works here, what can help, and how can we make the world a better place, starting with ourselves. That's very much the Virgo side. And Virgo is also interested in all things. Mercury is interested in Virgo in all things having to do with health and wellness, and yeah, finding solutions for issues that could have been, like neglected. And let's look at the moon. So the moon is still in Scorpio today, waxing moon, right? Before the full moon, which will be partial lunar eclipse on the 27th. And so the moon is now in Scorpio today, still on this, okay, let me just, on the 19th today. And she will go void, of course, at 7:46 p.m. For quite a while until 1:30 a.m. So on Pacific time, it will be at night, which is very helpful when she enters Sagittarius. So that is, I talked about the Sphinx point. The Scorpio Sag cusp is the Phoenix point. Phoenix out of the ashes. So there is this burning off and all this processing, lots of energy that we would have dealt with emotionally under the Scorpio moon. And maybe all this process can also lead to freedom, to new understanding, to bigger picture, to actually also rising literally again from having been in this emotional cauldron, right? And now we're free, and something is shifting, and we're having more trust, more confidence, or more understanding about the situation if we have processed through things. And the moon will be in Sagittarius in these last days of Leo season, so we're having more fire again. And Sagittarius moon all day, pretty much the 20th, the 21st, Thursday, Friday, until Saturday at 1:56 p.m., which is just 6 hours before the sun enters Virgo. So we have literally the last days of Leo with Sag moon, and this is very upbeat and celebratory, and maybe also new dynamics regarding your path. Literally, it's also end of Leo with Sag undertone, right? So maybe your path, or literally traveling, something might open up in that regard. And yeah, so put it out, put your heart out, and be inspiring and be inspired, and have joy, have fun, celebrate. And as we're transitioning, we're really transitioning into a different energy as more groundedness comes in with the sun and then Mercury in Virgo, and before we enter the second phase of the eclipse season. this is it for today, a bit shorter, and hopefully that was helpful. A few notes here from my practice. It's still the Client Appreciation Month of August, celebrating 26 years in my astrology practice since 2000. So that also means the Client Appreciation Month is on, and you're most welcome to take me up on it. You can get a sweet deals, discounts. If you've been my client for a long time, let me know, and we can set something up as long as you contact me before the 31st. And my email address is here below in the show notes of the video. And even the event is, you can find the full offer, the special, as a Facebook event on my Facebook page. And you can, as usual, always find articles for all these astro shifts and dynamics for new moons, full moons, eclipses, planets entering signs, the nodes entering new signs on my blog, which I also post a link here below. And there's a Facebook page, as I said. There's also the email newsletter if you'd like to read things up at your own pace, and that is available if you contact me via email. I'm happy to add you to my subscriber list. So this is it, and I wish you a beautiful week, beautiful Sphinxy transition week into Virgo, as we are bringing our best self, our Leo love, our heart into the world, into service, and make the world a better place. So wishing you a good week, and see you again live or here on this channel. Cheers.